if you're thinking about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, or you're interested in what it's like to live in Raleigh, North Carolina, this is going to be a great video for you to watch. I'm going to talk about all the areas that make up the greater triangle area, and you can decide for yourself which area makes the most sense for you. And we're getting started right now.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hey, I'm Will Wofford, real estate broker with Berkshire Hathaway. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the different areas that make up the greater triangle area. And I'm going to talk specifically about the commute times to the Research Triangle Park and Downtown Raleigh area, because the Research Triangle Park is the economic catalyst that spurred all the growth for the Triangle region. So it makes sense to be within a reasonable range of the park. And downtown Raleigh is the second biggest economic jobs generator in the area. So if you're moving here to work, you're probably going to want to be located pretty near to downtown Raleigh or the Research Triangle Park. So the Triangle area, imagine a triangle connect from NC State to Duke University to Chapel Hill and back to Raleigh. Forms an imaginary triangle from Raleigh to Durham to Chapel Hill. And that area, that whole area in between, is the economic powerhouse. The Research Triangle Park lies in the middle. Just beneath it's the RDU International Airport. So people are able to move in and out of here as needed, and they can efficiently get to either the Research Triangle or the downtown area, Chapel Hill, Durham, etc. So that's an overview of the triangle, what it is. To connect people to the triangle, Wake County, which the majority of the suburbs or satellite towns of Raleigh are located in, we have the 540 outer loop. We have the 440 Beltline inside Raleigh. You can see that right here. And the 540 outer loop goes from just on the other side of Knightdale and connects all the way right now to Holly Springs. By 2023, it should connect to Interstate 40 that would take you to the beach. That's the 540 outer loop. It won't be until probably 2032 that they'll do the final leg that will connect where it ends just beyond Garner to Knightdale. But that's not that big of a deal, to be honest with you. So with that general overview, let's get started. I've divided all the areas, and there's around 22 areas, and then Raleigh. Raleigh I've divided up into 8 areas because some are obviously going to be more convenient than others. Raleigh's a big city, 500,000 people. Durham's got 300. Chapel Hill's got about 63,000. Cary's got about 180. All the other areas are smaller. Raleigh, Durham, Cary, and Chapel Hill make up about 55% of the triangle area. So the first area we're going to talk about, this is going to be the A-list. These are going to be all the areas that are super convenient to both the Research Triangle Park and downtown Raleigh. First up is North Hills. North Hills is about 20 minutes from the Research Triangle Park and 15 minutes to downtown Raleigh. The next 3 areas, Northwest Raleigh, North Raleigh, and Northeast Raleigh, they all lie on the 540 outer loop. And Northwest Raleigh is about 16 minutes to the park, 20 minutes to downtown Raleigh. North Raleigh is about 20 minutes to the park, 20 minutes to downtown Raleigh. And Northeast Raleigh is about 22 minutes to the park and 20 minutes to downtown Raleigh. So these are 3 great options. Now, I will point out that there is no toll. It's a free road on the north side. But as we get to the other side, beyond the airport around Holly Springs and what's going to connect Interstate 40 beyond Garner, that will be a toll road. So the next areas I'm going to cover are all Raleigh areas. Downtown, obviously it's convenient to downtown Raleigh because it is downtown, but it's about a 24-minute drive to the park. But you've got a lot going on in downtown Raleigh. Raleigh, that's got the most things to do of any area in Raleigh. So That's what puts it on the A list. And if you're somebody that doesn't want to buy a place and needs to move here to work at Apple, work at Google, work wherever, then there are a lot of apartments that have been built in downtown Raleigh, in North Hills, and in West Raleigh. So these are some good areas for you to rent an apartment if you don't want to buy something. Southwest Raleigh lies just beneath downtown Raleigh, and this area is actually the most convenient of all. It's around 13 minutes to downtown Raleigh on average and 16 minutes to the park. So it's the most convenient location of all. A lot of NC State students live here. And West Raleigh, which is just above Southwest Raleigh, a little more expensive. This area would extend from Cameron Village above Hillsborough Street all the way to the fairgrounds. But this area is super convenient to downtown Raleigh and to the Research Triangle Park. You know, I'd say less than 20 minutes to the park, and downtown Raleigh about 10 minutes. So very, very convenient areas. Now, the next three areas that are part of the A list are going to be, first area is Apex. Now, the Apex is right on that other side of the 540 Beltline that comes around, and it's going to be about 20 minutes to downtown Raleigh and about 20 minutes to the park from Apex. Apex, you're going to get a little bit more for your money out here in terms of lot size and house, but 20 minutes each way basically, so that's the price you'll have to pay. But a lot of people like Apex. Cary is the next area. Cary is the second most convenient area overall behind Southwest Raleigh. It's about 16 minutes to downtown Raleigh, and I think it's 19 minutes on average to the park from Cary. And Cary's got tons of different ways that you can get to the RTP depending upon where you live. And the last area on the A list is Morrisville. Now, Morrisville is going to be about a 22-minute drive to Raleigh, but it's a 13-minute drive to the park on average. And Morrisville, unlike all the other areas, is super convenient to downtown Durham, Chapel Hill, and Raleigh. So it sits in the middle, and that's kind of unique. So that location in Morrisville puts you within strike range of the most things probably. So definitely an interesting area in high demand for sure. So that's the A list, and I just want to point out that in the description below, I'm going to put all the drive times and distances to all the areas I'm going to talk about. And I'm also going to be putting some drive tours, like from North Hills to downtown Durham and back, North Hills to Chapel Hill and back, so you can see what the drive is really like. I figured out a good way to film these so that it feels like you're with me. You know, if you're curious, you know, you can look at that and you can see exactly what the trip's like, what the road's like, what traffic's like at 3:30 in the afternoon. You know, if I was moving here, I'd be interested. So I'll put more videos on this video going forward. They'll be unpublished. I'll put a link in the description below as I drive to more areas. I want this video to be a resource, really a primary resource for all of my videos, and really be kind of the first video that somebody watches if they're interested in moving to Raleigh, because this is going to be a really good overview video. It's not like my typical video, but I hope it's useful for you. So my A- list, all these areas are going to be, they're going to sell at a discount to the A list, but they're all super convenient to Raleigh. They're just not quite as convenient. East Raleigh, 5 minutes to downtown Raleigh. So you're pretty much at downtown Raleigh, but it's about a 26-minute trip to the RTP. And what puts East Raleigh on the A- list is really that East Raleigh is older, and there's a lot of renovations, a lot of flips, a lot of tear downs in East Raleigh, whereas a lot of the other areas are pretty established suburb type feeling neighborhoods. So East Raleigh is somewhat of a work in progress, but incredible proximity, incredible value, and it probably sells at the most out of all the A- list. Very high in demand. Southeast Raleigh sells at a discount, definitely. It's probably the cheapest area in Raleigh, Great for first-time home buyers. A lot of homes that aren't too old in this area. A lot of tract builders built in this area in the last 20 years. But southeast Raleigh, you're like 12 minutes to downtown Raleigh and 26, 27 minutes to the RTP. So great area. Garner, 12 minutes to downtown Raleigh. You're right on downtown Raleigh. And to the RTP, 26 minutes, 27 minutes. Durham. Durham is going to be about a 35-minute drive to Raleigh, downtown Raleigh. But I put that on the list because downtown Durham is about 10 minutes to the RTP. You are the closest to the RTP in downtown Durham. Downtown Durham is also an excellent spot if you want an apartment in a downtown area. You want to be on top of the RTP and you want a lot of things to do. Because Durham has a downtown like Raleigh. The only difference is Raleigh has the critical density of people, meaning like Raleigh's obviously the state capital, got a lot of government workers downtown, and so there are enough people in the day, in the morning, and the night in downtown Raleigh to drive business and keep businesses like restaurants open for lunch and dinner. In Durham, not only do we have COVID, but all the people that live in downtown Durham, they leave during the day. So it looks to me like Durham's a place that comes alive at night in downtown, but there's tons of stuff to do in downtown Durham. So many restaurants, lots and lots of independent restaurants, really cool bars. You got the Durham Bulls there, you've got the D-Pack, tons of stuff. So this is a great place for somebody that wants an apartment or a condo. Kind of be a little bit hard to find, but apartment for sure. Downtown Durham is a good bet for you. Wendell Falls. It's actually part of Wendell, but it's really two areas because Wendell Falls is about 6 miles closer than Wendell. And Wendell's about 600 sales in Wendell in the last 12 months. About a third of it, or 200, were in Wendell Falls. Wendell Falls is much newer, really nice area. And Wendell Falls is less than 20 minutes to downtown Raleigh and about 26 minutes to the RTP. So living in Wendell Falls is a good area, and you also have a variety of ways to get to the RTP. You're not just stuck with one way. You have several routes that you could take depending upon traffic. So Wendell Falls is a rock solid option if you're looking to commute to the RTP or downtown Raleigh. Knightdale, very similar to Wendell Falls, a lot of developments, a lot of building, very similar to Southeast Raleigh. It sells at a discount, and you're very close to downtown Raleigh, like 14 minutes, and the RTP is 28 minutes away, so super convenient to both. Holly Springs is going to be probably the longest commute to both. I mean, you're looking at about 25 minutes for the RTP and about 30 minutes for downtown Raleigh. Holly Springs, you're going to get a lot for your money. It's going to be very similar to Apex, and you can get right on 540 and zip right on over to the RTP. So moving on to the B list, all of these areas that I'm going to mention are more convenient for one area than the other, but they're still really good areas. The first one's going to be Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill actually in Carborough, which neighbors Chapel Hill, very close together. They run right into each other just like Cary and Raleigh, except for they're much smaller. But Chapel Hill, that's where UNC Chapel Hill is. So it's a town that's been built around the university. Really, a really neat vibe here. Very artsy, very nice restaurants. You're about 24 minutes to the RTP, 40 minutes to Raleigh. And Carborough is very similar. Not much difference in commute time there. But I thought it was worth mentioning. A lot of jobs in Durham. Chapel Hill would be convenient to, or Carborough, at Duke University or the hospital, as well as UNC Chapel Hill or the UNC hospital. So those are two major hospitals. Clayton is a unique area because Clayton, when the 540 finally connects in like 2032 and passes Clayton, I don't think that Clayton is really going to benefit that much for it. I think you're still going to have to drive in on Highway 70 to get to downtown Raleigh, or 70 to connect with Interstate 40 to zip out to the park. So The downside to Clayton is you're looking at around a 25-minute commute to downtown Raleigh and a 40-minute commute to the RTP. You do get a lot for your money in Clayton, but it comes at a price, and traffic is the price. Wendell, mentioned Wendell Falls earlier. This is about 5 to 6 miles beyond Wendell Falls, but the benefit is 264. You have multiple ways to get to the RTP once you pass Wendell Falls on the way out. So Wendell Falls, you're looking at probably about a 24-minute commute to downtown, and your commute to the RTP, I think, is around 35 minutes, so a little bit longer. This would be like the outer edge for commute to the RTP. Zebulon beyond Wendell, so you're looking at commute to the downtown is about probably about 26 minutes, and your commute to the RTP is a solid 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. So long commute. And Hillsborough is the last one on the B list. Hillsborough is above Durham, but it's a short commute to Durham, and it's about a 25-minute commute to the RTP. So if you're working in the RTP, this is an interesting area, pretty neat area. But if you're commuting to Raleigh, it's 45 minutes, so it's a long commute to Raleigh. But it is on I-40, so it's a fast-moving road, but you can still get traffic backed up. The next three areas I want to mention, this is my B- list, and they're the B- list because the commute isn't easy to either one of them. I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable, and a lot of people do it, and these are popular areas. But there's going to be basically 30-minute commutes to either place, so it's tough. Wake Forest is first up, 33 minutes to downtown Raleigh, about 35 minutes commute to the RTP. You've got a couple ways you could get to the RTP, but 30 plus minutes to either one of them, that's a long commute. And Wake Forest is about 7.5% of the Triangle market. It's a big part of it, but I want you to know that the commute is going to be extensive. Rollsville, about 26 minutes to downtown Raleigh, so you get a break there, but still about a 35-minute commute to the RTP. Roseville is going to be quicker to get to downtown, but I still put it in the same category. Fuquay-Varina, about a 33-minute commute to downtown Raleigh and 35 to the RTP. You're going to have to take Highway 55 to connect with Holly Springs, and when the 540 gets extended to just beyond Garner, I don't think it's going to benefit you in Fuquay-Varina. I think you're still going to take Highway 55 to connect with the 540 because of where it's cutting through. So I don't see that as being a real win. You get a lot for your money in Fuquay. Fuquay is super popular. It's one of the popular areas. I mean, I think at least 5% of the market is in Fuquay. But I want to point that out that it's going to be a lengthy drive either to downtown Raleigh or to the RTP from Fuquay. So keep that in mind. My last list out of the whole Triangle area, and I told you it was comprehensive. And remember, I'm going to put drive tours down to almost anytime I go to one of these areas, I'm going to film it, I'm going to post it. So you can get an idea about what it's really like. So you come back to this video, and in the description, you'll find the links. So the C area, these are all viable areas, and people are moving there every day. The first one is Butner, totally interesting area. You probably won't move here. There's only 44 homes sold in the last 12 months. It's where the Butner Correctional Facility is. That's where Bernie Madoff is. It's also where the mental health facility is and the juvenile delinquency facility. So North Carolina took over the management of Butner in 2007, if that gives you any indication. But in Butner, the median cost for a home is $225,000, so it's the cheapest out of all the areas. You're about a 25-minute commute to the RTP, and Durham, it's even less, so it's definitely doable to Durham. But finding a home here is going to be tricky with only 44 homes in 12 months, and the median days on market's 3 or less for the whole Triangle area, including this area. So, be tough. Commuting from Butner to Raleigh, 45 minutes, that'd be a nightmare. Creedmoor, that's an option for the RTP or Durham. It's about 30 minutes. But like Butner, there's not enough homes being sold here to make this a viable area really to think you're going to win one of these homes. So Creedmoor, 30 minutes to Durham, 45 minutes to Raleigh, and you will want to pull your hair out if you have to drive this area today, I think. Pittsboro, next option. This is the other side of the map. This is over there beyond Apex and Cary. You take 264 in, but what's attractive about Pittsboro is I think it's 33 minutes to the RTP and 35 minutes to downtown Raleigh. So it is a viable option. Prices are a little bit higher in Pittsboro, despite it being that far out, but it is a pretty cool, pretty nostalgic downtown. So Pittsboro is an option. Now the last two areas in the C area, and the last two areas of video, are areas where there's actually a lot of development going on. They're the furthest out, and you get the most for your money here, I think, but you're looking at long commutes. So the first one is Youngsville, which is just beyond Wake Forest. And remember, Wake Forest was 33 and 35 on the commute side, so you're looking really at about 40 and 40 if you're in Youngsville. Got a couple ways you can get there, but those are the best ways, so they're going to be long. And the last one's Franklinton, which is beyond Youngsville, so you're looking at about a 45-minute commute to downtown Raleigh or to the RTP. And they are building and they're selling homes in this area, so you could get one here if you wanted, and it will be cheaper than it will be in the other areas. This is a viable area, but 45 minutes away. So I hope this video has shed some light for you on the Raleigh market, the Triangle area, and it's been helpful as a good base video. And if you like it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this. I try to put out content every single week about life in Raleigh and where to live, and I'll see you on the next video.